It's Monday. It's your girl Candy K. Lynn.
Your boy Shouton Shaw.
And every Monday at 6 o'clock, we,
Pull up.
right here on DFWIRadio.com, we talk sports.
News, hip hop.
We don't talk about people.
We just give you the facts.
Mr. Shaw, did I miss something? Did I do it right today? Because you know you like to come for me.
Nah, we was on point. I told you, man. You might have to carry the show today. I got the eyes, man.
Well, I need you to be a rock star as always today because it is needed.
Rockstar, I don't do drugs like that. That's
Oh,
what
God.
rockstar do.
Do rock stars only do drugs? Do they not do anything else?
I was definitely watching something about the '80s last night on CNN. It was basically about the rock stars doing a lot of drugs. I don't think there was ever a rock star that didn't do drugs. I don't think you can be a rock star unless you do drugs.
So the only way to be a rock star is to be a drug user.
Yes. How you think you
Um,
jam your head so hard? Why could they be sweating so hard? When they showed us, it was like two versions of Whitney Houston. First Whitney Houston, then second Whitney Houston. She was sweating hard that second time. Second time they showed she was sweating real
Mr.
hard.
Shaw, I don't know. I can't with you. Well, it is. Let me do it.
Young,
Huh?
um, Ozzy Osbourne. This is
You're
few
silly.
rock stars. To name a few.
Okay. So you don't want to be a rock star. Just be you. And sometimes that's too much in itself.
A fat star.
It's it's a what?
A fat star. Just want to
Oh,
be.
I thought you said a porn star. I was used to.
As y'all see, Kelly Kaylin is totally off topic today.
Okay, back to the show. I thought that's what I heard you say. I never know.
I'm a true professional, and every time I come in here, I give you out. But Candy Kaylin is just acting up to that.
I never know what I'm gonna get from you, and anybody who listens to the show knows that they probably expected that too. I never know what I'm gonna get from you. But to go ahead and to get into the show, Mr. Shaw, this is a cap for me. You know, this is the first time that I haven't been at the NFL draft in what this is last year was the first year and this is the second year. Like it's draft weekend and I'm not there.
Yeah, you used to being in the building. I mean,
I'm used to being in the building. You were in the building. Like
I'm
maybe next year for Vegas we'll be back in the building.
only if I, you know what? Only because you said Vegas, and I like blackjack now. I got $200 to $500 to spend, just depending on how I go for the weekend.
Who let you gamble?
Don't worry about that, man. I just
Oh
found
my
some money
god.
there, man. So
Not some more gambling.
yeah, we gotta go to Vegas around the time where I can really gamble too, like bet the spread, bet the line, all that. But yeah, anyway, uh, I am just not totally over excited for the draft. Like, I mean, I want to get it out the way, but it's not. I don't know. I don't know. The excitement's just not there. I don't know, but you
Well,
know,
if you're just joining our show and this is you're a first time listener, we've been covering the NFL draft every year that we've done a show. Um, the NFL draft is on Thursday. You can stream it. You can watch it. ESPN carries the draft. NFL Network carries the draft. I believe ABC is carrying the draft again this year. This is
for the
a
first round,
say that again.
just the first round.
I probably usually the first and the third. I think is the way ESPN, but it's going to be on ESPN. You can always get it on ESPN.
No, for sure. I'm just saying, if they want to check out ABC.
Yeah, if they and then of course NFL Network for those of you who are NFL Network people that's your thing. So this year the draft is saturated with quarterbacks and wide receivers. That's been the conversation. I know that this has been a COVID filled 2020-21 season. I think that there are a lot of prospects in this draft that are simply overrated. That's just my personal opinion. Doesn't make me an expert.
No, the experts don't even be experts.
Well,
Now after they tell us somebody gonna be our world come out and they be subpar. So
I think it bothers me even with the comparisons, right? So with we've known for the last 2 years that Trevor Lawrence was going to be the number one pick in this draft.
but
And unless something happens Wednesday, he's going to be Jacksonville's number one pick. Urban Myers was brought in for that reason down in Jacksonville to rebuild a program around Trevor Lawerence. And those are your guys. What do you think? You're the only Jaguar fan that ain't from Florida.
I feel like that's gonna be the best draft pick in the world. The problem is not even the Jaguars had Leonard Fournette let him go, right? Like what are you gonna give this talent time to grow? Jalen Ramsey let him go. What's the point of drafting great talent to trade it away, right? How do you win as an organization that way? So my thing with the Jay, like maybe y'all trust Urban Meyer, y'all gonna give him the opportunity to let this talent grow, let it build, but you trade away your talent for draft picks. So then you're saying, well, we're gonna draft the. That's not. You're not winning a championship with rookies or non-veteran players because you don't understand what it takes to win yet. Right. So my thing for the Jags, you got to draft Trevor Lawrence. That'll be the first time you've had a for sure quarterback to take because you've reached every other time. Right. And I don't want the teams at the top of the draft this year to reach on the quarterback because they feel they're that desperate need for a quarterback. He's going to be the next big thing. Okay.
Well, that's the thing because the Jacksonville is on the clock first, the Jets are on the clock second, and the Jets have the same issue. The Jets are now there's this big hype that Zach Wilson may be a better pick than Trevor Lawerence. He played at BYU, and this is the reason why that I say that this class is overhyped, especially when it comes to quarterbacks. We're talking about a quarterback from BYU. I have not been impressed with Mac Jones. Yes, Alabama won a national championship. I am not impressed with Mac Jones. I do not believe
a lot of talent around.
A whole lot of talent. What can you do on your own? What if you're in a situation like with the Jets? Because their last quarterback that they thought was a end-all be-all from USC, he's now been traded out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you talked about that. We talked about, what his potential was and what he was going to be able to do. Then there's your guy Kyle Trask that they're talking about. There's Justin Fields. Justin Fields has slipped in the conversation. We're talking about a Heisman candidate behind Mac Jones.
No. Huh? He not a first day. He probably like third, fourth round type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like
you think Justin Fields is?
No, Kyle Trask.
Okay, but they're having this conversation, right? So Kyle Trask is one of the 11 or 12 quarterbacks that we keep having the conversation about. But Justin Fields has slipped behind Heisman conversation to behind Zach Wilson and right neck and neck with Mac Jones.
And there is another kid named Trey Lance, so I'm not just
from North Dakota State.
Well, I'm just not completely sold on either. It's your time that you're playing against,
And I'm not sold on Kellen Mond out of A&M because I've seen him as well.
And I just feel like he didn't do his numbers were like 2,500 yards. Like you didn't do that much, right? Or they didn't trust you to do that much. But
you also play in the SEC, so how much could he really do? Like, right? Did we not see the best of him?
Yeah. So you think he showed us all he had?
I don't think he has a lot more to offer. I don't think this is a situation where this is a kid that we're going to see him get to the next level and boom. Because I didn't see like this great athletic talent in him. I didn't see a phenomenal arm. I didn't see where he made the best offensive decisions when he was coming out of the pocket. Like I just didn't. Did he make some plays? Did he get some wins in his career? Absolutely. But I didn't see him as a quarterback that will necessarily pull up his highlight films from college and be like, this is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever.
Man, again, teams be so high on quarterbacks, bro. Like, again, you do need a great quarterback. It's almost impossible to have your team go deep in the playoffs if you don't have a fairly decent quarterback. And a great quarterback is always a good thing to have. But the NFL reaches on quarterbacks, especially if you 6'5", got blonde hair, blue eyes. You the greatest thing in the world, right? They see something 6'4", he's a big kid, big arm, sees the field well, reads the defense amazingly. He can do anything and everything you need him to do. My NFL comparison, because this always male coverage. My NFL comparison, Joe Montana. Always some outlandish, out of this world take on something. You know what I'm saying? I might need to do a skit about Mel Kiper Jr. What's the other? Mel Kiper Jr. What's the? And they always beef, and I can't think of his name.
And so when you make statements like that, Mr. Shaw, you're like head on with it. That's my question and my concern. When we're giving these
the other guy, I can't think of his name. It's Mel Kiper. Then the his face is implanted in my head.
Now you're gonna have me doing I be trying to do research, and then I'll be typing, and then you'll be talking about me typing. So
Oh
I
man,
can't.
oh, you got the nose, and then you got the short, kind of brownish hair. Todd McShay. I
There
knew
you
I
go.
Todd McShay. Todd McShay and Mel. I was upset that I couldn't get Todd McShay, Mel Kiper. Well, Mel. I got him on the big board too. Just not as high as you do, but it's in they're
Look at
gas.
Josh coming through right there with you, Todd McShay. Look at that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
they be heavy on the on the gassing of the quarterbacks. They gas them, but you
But when
know,
you compare a quarterback to Andrew Luck, again, when you're comparing this talent, Andrew Luck did okay. He never. I mean, what did he do? Like we're so high on Andrew Luck or Matt Stafford. I don't like Matt Stafford or Andrew Luck comparisons. When
I don't.
we
Go ahead.
what I mean, what have they done? And then as you say, when you talk of Joe Montana or Troy Aikman or Dan Marino, these players are not them. You see what I'm saying? And I always say this, like with these comparisons of maybe what their talent is, we're not talking about high level. When you're talking about Jacksonville picking up a number one pick, the Jets picking up a number one pick for quarterbacks that we've seen. It is hard for a rookie to get it all together in the NFL.
Especially on a bad team.
On a bad team, during COVID, there's just a lot of factors that you need to look at. It sounds good. They may have the talent to fit in the system, but when we talk about Trevor Lawerence and Zach Wilson, we're not talking about the most athletic quarterbacks to begin with.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
No, I see
even with his arm strength at this level.
No. You talking about I see the black kids. He got skates. Like Trevor Lawrence is real. When they hype him, like, because again, remember he went that his freshman season, he beat Alabama. He probably got 5 losses. I've seen Trevor Lawrence straight up the gut run away from an African American kid, right? So Trevor Lawrence, I don't think he's hyped. I know he can play, right? I know he can get it done. Now, like you said, you going into a bad situation. How good are you gonna be in a bad situation? Do I believe that the Jags are drafting him and they're gonna let Gardner Minshew play? I don't believe that. I don't. I believe he's gonna get the opportunity to play. And if you put a system around him that works, you have a possibility with Trevor Lawrence to be a good team, right?
I'm laughing at Kirk's comments. I'm talking about Trevor Lawerence is as advertised. He's just white. That's the comedy part to pull up. You gotta be.
That sounds like somebody.
And they loving it. I mean,
that sounds like somebody hating on Trevor Lawrence.
No, but he is the number one pick. They can be. I mean, and when I say skill set, remember we are going from the collegiate level to the NFL. Trevor Lawrence talent at that level has to match what these defensive players, their speed, their strength, and we're going to be watching you. They're not going to let Trevor Lawrence do that. He is not a Michael Vick or a Lamar Jackson or even a Dak Prescott who has the size, right? Because they're already talking about he needs to pick up some more weight.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not talking that level of talent in a situation with a first-year NFL coach. Urban Meyer has been out of coaching for a while. He's coming into a Jacksonville situation where Jacksonville is, as you said, they don't build their core talent. They'll get you there, and they never get the pieces around the talent that's needed to develop the athletes. So you're looking at a situation where you put a lot of pressure on a rookie. A lot of expectations, a lot of pressure. They're living in a different city. They're adjusting. There's COVID protocol. I just think there's a lot that we're asking for, and we're asking for these quarterbacks to rebuild these teams that been trashed the whole presence of the organization. They didn't just get bad; they've been bad,
being horrible.
So I just don't think I don't think it will be. I don't think it's going to be what they want it to be. I think it is great for the narrative that they want to pitch. And it's also I talk about this all the time. It also goes to show you if these quarterbacks go early, what the dollar amount is going to look like also.
Oh, yeah. You know that.
The dollar amount looks totally different. And we're going all offense pretty much. O-line is expected to go number 4 from Oregon. I do believe they predicted him in the top 10. The teams that have top picks, because we've gotten so deep into the Trevor Lawerence conversation. I don't even know where my notes went to tell y'all who has the top picks, and I didn't even see where another team. Most of these teams, Mr. Shaw, what we've talked about is the fact that so many of them are in need of quarterbacks.
I mean, 49ers traded up for a quarterback. Everybody seeing Mac Jones. I mean, hey, listen, the organization gonna draft what they want to draft. I always say I don't see what teams see. I want the best player on the board. I want the best player available. I want the best player at the spot I need them to work, whatever the case may be.
And your boy Lynch has said whatever Shanahan decides with the quarterback, he trusts Shanahan in that position. So, again, we're talking about a 49ers team that's proven to us that they are a shaky organization too. They make decisions that are not probably long-term great decisions. This is not the 49ers of the 80s where we saw Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Or Steve Young. Like, we're not seeing that for front office management at this point. So, Matt Jones is not going to be my guy. Jacksonville has the number 1 pick. I told you the New York Jets has the number 2 pick. San Francisco has the number 3 pick. We're anticipating 3 quarterbacks to go back to back to back. We talking about a lot of money too, and a lot of zeros. And everybody didn't want Dak to get their money, but I guarantee you when it's time for Trevor Lawerence to sign his deal, it's time for Zach Wilson or Matt Jones or whoever they pick up in those 2 and 3 spots. I guarantee you they're going to get their money plus some that they don't deserve. Andrew Luck walked away from football with a whole lot of money. So the Falcons are number 4. We know they don't need a quarterback. They believe in Matt Ryan, who I've been saying from the beginning is subpar.
Same.
The Cincinnati Bengals have the number 5 pick. The Miami Dolphins have the 6th pick. They don't need a quarterback either.
No, that's not true. They're not sold on him. I see the possibility of them taking a quarterback.
But they have wide receivers on the board, so why not get them a receiver?
I mean, and they got a receiver that could actually fit their quarterback. He went to school with their quarterback, so that's what they said. Joe Burrow is. They're probably gonna draft the quarterback. The Bengals probably gonna draft Jamar Chase. Link him with
Jamar Chase from LSU.
Yeah,
exactly. And then Smith is on the board, as you said, that went to Alabama with Tua.
Mm-hmm.
So get him a receiver. This is not always about the quarterback. Sometimes it's the pieces that are missing. Then there's the Detroit Lions, another subpar organization who continues to be subpar. They have the 7th pick. The Carolina Panthers are the 8th pick.
They might need a quarterback.
They do need a quarterback. They got rid of Cam Newton at the start of the season. They brought in, I can't even call his name.
They brought in Cam Newton.
No, they got rid of Cam Newton.
Some of the Patriots?
No, Carolina has the 8th pick.
Oh, they got rid of Cam Newton, played the Patriots last year, baby.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They got rid of Cam Newton.
She said they got rid of Teddy Bridgewater.
And I was getting ready to go there. They got rid of Cam Newton. They brought in Bridgewater. They got rid of Bridgewater. So we know that they don't.
And they brought in the quarterback but they haven't got rid of Teddy yet.
But he's next because they're going to get.
They're not. Why would you draft a quarterback you traded for Sam Darnold?
Well, that's what it was. They traded for Darnold, which was a bad. Right, you got rid of Cam to go get an unproven quarterback. But you had a Bridgewater who gave you consistency. That's what I say.
I don't have no answer for that because it just don't make sense. Like,
okay, so
when they made the trade, I was like, why would you trade for Sam Darnold? But
thank you, Kirk. I was trying to, I don't have notes all together today. I'm going off the top of my dome. I'm acting like Mr. Shaw. I'm freestyling it. So
see whoa. I have my notes.
I always have my notes. Well, listen, sometimes I'm moving around, and so sometimes
it's battle rapping, sometimes a freestyle.
I couldn't get the transition. Like, Cam was gone to make. I was trying to connect the pieces of one bad decision after another bad decision to another bad decision, and you got a top 10 draft pick that you're probably still gonna make a bad decision with.
No, not bad.
Then there's not bad, horrible. Then there's the Denver Broncos at number 9.
Who's quarterback?
Huh?
Are there any quarterbacks left? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they need a quarterback too.
Oh, I said, are there any left?
Yeah, there's 13. But again, you're going to get a subpar quarterback because all of these quarterbacks that are on the board are subpar quarterbacks. Once we get past Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, everybody else in the field is they subpar. So all of these teams who've been having quarterback
Not a
issues.
subpar pick if you take Kyle Trask in the 4th, 5th round. That's a great pick. Anything before that,
who do you pick up as Denver on the first round? Because
I don't know.
Denver's been struggling for the last 4 seasons at the quarterback.
You gotta get a quarterback because you just drafted a receiver last year, so you gotta get somebody to get him the ball, right? But again,
we're relying on rookies.
This is the thing. This is the question. This is the thing. If you don't feel like, hey, I got a quarterback, when you draft in the top 10, every sport, you aren't drafting for role players. You're drafting for, now, you might be drafted for a role playing superstar, which means you are a role player and you play we're not asking you to do a whole lot. We're not asking you to do bare minimum. We're actually doing more than average. And if you have superstar nights, we're great with it, right? We might ask you for 10 superstar nights. In basketball, give us 30. It's some of the games. Football, 4 or 5 weeks, we need you to do something outstanding, right? Top 10. You should, with quarterbacks, you need to be drafted for the next 10 years. If you don't see this quarterback leading your organization for the next 10 years, you don't need drafted. That's my opinion on drafting quarterbacks. I'm not drafting a quarterback unless I see him, and when he played in college, I'm like, oh, he going to get it done. Case in point, a man they trying to drag in Houston, hopefully he don't be just taking it without permission, Deshaun Watson. When I watched him, I said, oh, yeah, he going to get it done. He don't got no fear in his heart. Kyler Murray, same difference, right?
And I told you, I watched him in Denver on Monday Night Football. Never get rattled. Even in the Super Bowl, where he had his worst performance of the season, we've still watched him not get rattled. So when we're talking, as you say, we're talking about these quarterbacks. We're talking about these quarterbacks that are making decent decisions. They have more athletic talent. These teams are just bad organizations. They have bad pieces in the front office of the organization, as you said. Because I'm not an expert.
Facts. I never tell nobody I am.
I've never sat in the war room and but I have watched football my entire life, and I do know that sometimes we're making plays and you're watching front office people who have less experience with football than I do. I'm convinced there's somebody's son who got a job that they're not really qualified to have. And to add to that, well, again, the number 10 spot goes to the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys need defensive players. By the way, because this is your favorite subject, Mr. Schott, there was breaking news today. What happened with the Cowboys?
I didn't get that news.
Sean Lee retired. Mr. Shaw's like, who cares?
Oh, man, that's not even. I went to Bleacher Report like some serious.
Sean Lee retired today after 11 seasons. So the Cowboys' defense has been something that they've been looking to rebuild. They brought in a backup quarterback in Andy Dalton. They finally signed Dak Prescott. They got a receiver last year in CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys need defensive backs. That's what they need.
They said Patrick Surtain Jr. is who they supposed to be drafted.
And what is your thought on that? Good pick, bad pick?
Pretty decent pick. Not bad pick. Top 10 pick. Not bad. Alabama. NFL pedigree. So, he know about the league. His pops was a veteran for years. So you should get a player that you can trust that's going to be there every day and that's going to make the team better.
Right. But what else do the Cowboys need to make the team better? Because one
you need at least
ain't gonna do it.
No. You see, that's the thing. You should be drafting I don't know how many picks the Cowboys have. They might need to draft some offensive. They need to draft offensive line need. They got that need too. So secondary, offensive line, and the defensive line ain't legit neither. Right? Like the Cowboys have things they need to address, but you need to, because again, might sound look crazy. I don't know how much longer you got with Tyron Smith. See, drafting, you can when them left tackles, Because everybody there's some of them in the draft. Get you one of them, send them on the bench, let them learn. So I feel like that's what teams don't do. Again, I'm giving you what I think I would do if I was picking players, right? I'm always drafting for the future. So if in this draft I got A, B, C, and D, well, hey, I'm struggling at this position. Let me go get a left tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Then again, people get beat out, roster spots, a lot of stuff happen, injuries, move, and third. I just feel like as a team, the Cowboys, you got to address the defense, but then again, you got to think about offensive line, and you got to think about tight end. You don't really got a not say a decent tight end, but just add to it. Like add to what your roster needs. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't feel like teams do that. But the Cowboys need to get them a veteran presence in the secondary first to add to having good young talent, not mesh with veteran leadership don't mean nothing. Because that good young talent got to grow, right? You got to mesh good young talent with veteran leadership. But again, I'm on the outside looking in, make it sound easy. I make it sound easy, don't I? I make it sound like it's the easiest thing in the world. It's not.
I don't think it's a sound easy. I think it's also approach and perspective. And sometimes, no, I don't have Kyle Pitts falling out the top 10. We were kind of just hitting who needs what the most in that top 10. Like we said, Miami, we know needs receivers. Detroit needs receivers. There's a variety of different places that he can go. And I feel like he will be in the top 10. We kind of got towards the Cowboys because, that's always a big deal with us having a presence in Dallas is people want their Cowboy talk and what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. And right now, Mr. Shah, as you said, that defense needs to be rebuilt. And you have to look for the future because Dak went out early last year because he was scrambling for his life. You cannot have your quarterback on the move. You need a quarterback that can maneuver outside of the pocket, but you do not need a quarterback that's forced to be that far outside of the pocket on a regular. So there should not be, 3 plays on a drive where your quarterback has to take off and scramble for his life. I think, as you say, we're looking at age. We're looking at injuries. When we're building these rosters and we're going, as you say, 4th and 5th round, where you may be able to get some talent that's decent, that when someone gets hurt, or you have an opportunity to slide them in those spots, that they are able to rise to the occasion because they've learned how the NFL works. They've learned the game at that level. They've been coached by the veteran leadership that gets them ready. And the Cowboys' offensive line, what we saw 3 years ago, that's done.
It's not the same team.
It's the injuries. There's just, once a Tyron Smith and the Zach Martin, and the older you get and you start getting into your 30s, your body does not heal. Only Tom Brady and LeBron James. Tom Brady and LeBron James are the only 30-year-olds and Steph Curry right now, whose bodies have been bionic. I don't know what it is that Tom Brady does, what it is that LeBron does, but if LeBron bounces back after this injury the way he has and what his career has looked like so far, we're not going to see that in the NFL. Not from the greatest of the great. Like, Tom Brady is one of the few that ever do it that can come back from injuries and continue to have a 20-plus year career at 40. We're not going to see that on the offensive line.
I just want to give y'all a little information. The NBA is going to keep the play-in system, which I love. I just feel like, which is just totally off topic, certain teams shouldn't be able to get in if you are 40 games behind 500. That's just my take, but go ahead, Candy. The NBA will keep the play-in system. I know some people don't like that. For how long, though? They said it's here to stay.
I think it makes the sport competitive because you have teams like Golden State that you would have never even thought at the start of the season was in the conversation. But Steph Curry has proven that he's a bad man and he's leading that team. I do agree with you. I think that I'm going to save my opinion for after this season. How about that? Let me see how it works before I judge it. I do want to say, since we jumped to basketball real quick, your guy is lightning, and we're at Denver is on fire. And Phoenix is on fire. You're messing me up. We had 1 minute, 6:29, Mr. Shaw. But you know what? We're gonna go to break. Okay, We're gonna go to break. This is your girl Candy K. Lynn.
And your boy Shawtown Shaw.
And we will be back right after this break to talk about shacking in 2021. Are y'all still moving in with your boyfriend and your girlfriend?
You said shacking. I thought we were talking about shacking the food. So
we'll be back.
Great.